大家早安，我们的活动即将开始，请大家就座，谢谢。Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The symposium will begin soon. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NTU International Symposium on Higher Education. We are honored to have over 200 participants with us today, including experts from Japan, Korea, Singapore, and throughout Taiwan. Together, we are here to shape the future of higher education and nurture future-ready talents. First of all, our guest of honor, Professor Ye Bingcheng, would like to extend his apologies for not being able to join us in person today. Professor Ye is the Deputy Minister from the Ministry of Education. Professor Ye has recorded a video message to greet everyone. Let's watch the video now.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Deputy Minister of Education of Taiwan. Thank you for inviting me to attend this International Symposium on Higher Education. I'm delighted to see so many esteemed experts and scholars from both abroad and Taiwan gathered here today to share their insights and experience on higher education. I believe this is a valuable opportunity to exchange ideas and collaborate. We live in a time of rapid change. Globalization, technological advances, and societal shifts are all having a profound impact on higher education. In this changing world, future university students not only need strong academic foundations, more importantly, they will also need the ability to take charge of their own learning, to think critically, and to solve complex problems. To foster creativity and help students adapt to this fast-evolving global environment, we must continually innovate and provide educational content and environments that encourage growth and self-improvement. In this context, the importance of international collaboration between universities is greater than ever. I firmly believe that idea sharing and collaboration are key drivers of educational evolution. International exchanges like today's symposium not only help disseminate knowledge, but also offer crucial opportunities to discuss solutions to global challenges. I feel a personal connection to today's event as both an NTU alumni and faculty member. More than that, I spent about 6 years as the Associate Director of the Division of Faculty Development at the NTU Teaching Center, where I led efforts to introduce innovative teaching methods such as flipped classroom to higher education in Taiwan, and launched the Taiwan's first massive online open course on Coursera. This experience gave me a deep appreciation for NTU's dedication to teaching and learning innovation. And I have witnessed firsthand the impact of these efforts that have had on students' learning experience. Looking to the future, I hope that the discussion held here at NTU today will be the start of a broader movement, one that spreads to more universities across Taiwan, inspiring our higher education institutions to continue contributing to educational innovation. Through international collaboration, especially among universities in Asia, I believe we can cultivate our students who are well equipped to thrive both in Asia and on the global stage. Once again, I want to thank you for having me today. I look forward to the productive discussions and new partnerships that will emerge from this symposium. And let's work together to shape the future of higher education. I wish you all a very successful and inspiring event. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank Professor Ye. And now, may we invite Professor丁诗同, Executive Vice President, National Taiwan University, to give a welcome speech. Professor Ding.
Thank you. Our esteemed speakers today, and also our distinguished guests from not only our domestic but also abroad. Good morning. I have 4 points I want to put across. My name is Shih-Torng Ding. I'm the Executive Vice President for National Taiwan University. So I would like to welcome you on behalf of National Taiwan University, and also especially our President Chen, Wang. He is quite putting a lot of emphasis on the improving higher education system, and I think it's very important to express his welcome to everybody to come to NTU. This is the first point I would like to make. And the second point I would like to make is thank you to join this meeting. Today's meeting is very important because our future NTU initiative office put in a lot of effort trying to initiate some discussion on how do we create a better university, how do we establish a better future education for our future talents. And we heard a lot of comments that coming from our Deputy Minister of MOE, and he used to work for NTU, and he get involved in a lot of these kind of activities. So I would like to thank you all to join us. Started discussion today, actually before a long time ago. But this is the second point. I would like to thank you to coming to join us, and we would get inspired by you, or you would get inspired by our speakers, and we will launch even better collaboration in the future. The third point I would like to put across is we are facing rapid changing world, and higher education is not as steady or as 停滞, how do you say, stagnant as before. So we would like to improve this system. We hope that everybody can join us to work together to try to improve this system. So I would like to ask you to open your mind, open your heart, to share, to initiate, to inspire or to get inspired, to learn or to be learned from the colleagues here in this meeting. There are more than 15 universities join us today domestically, and also four universities at least from abroad. So hopefully everybody can learn something today. So that's the third point? Third point. So just these 3 points. So we are going to have a quiz after my speech. So interestingly, when our university established the Office of Future NTU Initiative, we hope that we can find some new way to educate our students. And so we try to push through a lot of different curriculum reform and learning technology or teaching technology reform, and also other aspects of learning technology, and also evaluation, the learning outcome evaluations. So lots of effort was put in trying to cultivate the future generations, the next generation talents. And today's meetings, we have really honored to invite a lot of speakers coming from abroad, and also some experts from domestic universities. First of all, in this year, June, I have the privilege to lead our Vice President for Academic Affairs, and also Vice President for International Affairs, and also our General Education Office's Director, and also our Teaching Center's Director, and my colleagues to go to visit university in Korea and also in Japan. And I know a year ago, Vice President Wang is taking a team to visit university in Singapore. And we learned a lot from our friends in the Asia area. We face a lot of similar challenges. For instance, we were talking about how do we inspire the young people to be able to learn. We also talk about bilingual education system. How do we establish that kind of system in our universities? We have lots of issues, lots of challenges that face together. And we also, at a time, we learn a lot from our friends abroad. And today, I even see several old faces, actually friends coming from different universities that we just visit. So that's great. And after that, we are actually thinking about how do we put these forces together? So how do we collect the expertise, the experiences, the new current higher education technology or system into our higher education institution in Taiwan? And that's an interesting, great effort that need to collect everybody's time to work together. The third point about that, there are many people is the stakeholder. For instance, today, there are two groups of people I would like to also address. One is our Taiwan professional and organizational development, a network for higher education, come to join these meetings. Actually, the people also helped to that these meetings become possible and become more fruitful. And lots of the effort, and lots of the member university has the poster section outside of this lecture hall, and they are going to share their innovative teaching systems by poster section. So during the lunch hours, if you have time, please create some time to join the discussion, to have the dialogue, to have the interaction, to learn from each other, to teach everybody here to join these meetings. And then I would like to welcome not only the higher education people, but also people who want to join the higher education. We have high school principals and parents and students join today's meetings. So welcome you to join these meetings, and hope that you will learn that we are working side by side with you, trying to create an even better higher education system so our young people can learn better. So finally, I would like to show my, how do we say that? 祝福 wishes. I would have a good wishes for, we are the bilingual education system. I would like to wish everybody to have enjoy a very wonderful time here, not only just to learn, but also to contribute, to make friends, to inspire, to get inspired, to help everybody else, to help yourself become an even better person. And then wish you have a very great learning experiences in NTU. Thank you.
Thanks, Professor Ding, for the very inspiring speech. And now it's time for group photo. So let's gather together to capture this memorable moment. And if you have a cardboard on your seat, maybe you can raise it, take the picture with you. But don't cover your face. Now, let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first keynote speaker, Professor Kaori Hayashi, Executive Vice President, the University of Tokyo.
So thank you very much, Executive Vice President Dean, for the nice introductory remarks. And good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to this lecture. I'm so delighted and also honored to be finally able to be here at the National Taiwan University, which I really feel very close since I have many students from Taiwan in my seminar, and I feel very at home, actually, being here. Thank you so much. It's such an honor. So let me start my presentation. Okay. Okay, so this, okay, thank you. Technology. So what's next? Future-focused higher education. This title really invites both some worries and also responsibility as an executive vice president at university. Particularly for us in Japan, as many of you are aware, that Japan's demographic reality is defined by an aging population and a declining birth rate. The trends that will shape our nation for decades to come. Addressing these issues requires transformative policies, encouraging higher birth rates, expanding workforce opportunities for women and foreign nationals, and using technology to support an aging society. Yet, many institutions remain unchanged, namely traditionally Japanese and predominantly masculine in Japan. And higher education is not exception. So you see the changes in the demographic reality here in this chart. However, by fostering diversity, we can create a more innovative and resilient academic environment where varied perspectives lead to richer discussion and more groundbreaking solutions, a vision that guides our commitment to a more inclusive University of Tokyo. So today I'd like to explore some of the main challenges facing higher education in Japan and share how we at the University of Tokyo are addressing them. Our institution, often seen as Japan's premier university, and it has a storied legacy shaping national progress since its founding in 1877. Yet despite its distinction, the University of Tokyo grapples with many of Japan's broader social change challenges like the declining birth rate that impact our future very deeply. So first, I would like to mention a brief introduction first about some of the gender imbalance at the Japanese universities. This is how this chart shows the lack of serious gender equity in Japanese academia. Here I am showing you the data on gender imbalance at Japanese universities. According to World Bank data, Japan ranks at the bottom of female academic representation For example, female academic staff in Taiwan make up 37% of faculty, a figure with room for improvement, but in Japan, it's only 18%. So I would like to touch upon this gender issue, but I would like to mention some of my personal history about myself. I'm a sociologist and specializing in media and journalism, and my work, published in both Japanese and English, spans media theory and practice. I once was a journalist and have become a scholar of comparative media research as well as theory on topics such as ethics of care. I have been a full-time member of the University of Tokyo faculty since 2004, which feels like a significant tenure for many of you as young students, but though not as long as many of my male colleagues who have been there since their 20s. I started my career as a full-time scholar in my 40s. This is because my own academic path started later. I pursued graduate studies after working as a journalist and becoming a mother. This trajectory, here. So this is some of the pictures I can show you. I started my career as a full-time scholar in my 40s, and this is because my own academic path started later. And I pursued graduate studies after working as a journalist and becoming a mother. This trajectory is quite unconventional compared to most University of Tokyo faculty, who are typically male and University of Tokyo graduates and lifelong academics, often supported by full-time housewives who care for their families. I share this background with you because my role as Executive Vice President for Global Diversity and Inclusion Affairs has much of my perspective on global and diversity issues at the university, which is deeply impacted by my experience as a female scholar with experiences outside academia and in predominantly male and insular academic environment. As someone who took a different path, I know firsthand the strengths that diversity of experience brings to our university. The University of Tokyo is now more committed than ever to embracing diversity, recognizing that fostering varied backgrounds and perspectives is really essential for excellence in both research and education. So here I want to mention this, that Japan is really lagging behind in terms of the gender equity, in terms of the research landscape. So in 2021, this is the iconic building called Yasuda Kodo, where my office is. It's really the symbol of the academia in a way in Japan. In 2021, I was appointed as Executive Vice President of the University of Tokyo. And as mentioned, we have a proud 150-year history as the nation's top flagship institution, which I really appreciated, of higher education. But it has also been an overwhelmingly male institution. And we are trying to change that profile. Of the 7 full-time executive vice presidents of the university, which is home to about 30,000 students and 10,000 faculty staff, 2 are women, one of whom is myself. My mandate is, no surprise, to promote diversity and inclusion as well as the global affairs of the university. And since in this nation of predominant Japanese ethnic heritage, global and diversity are issues that closely intersect with each other, which I will mention later. So as you see here in these charts, there is still a significant room to change. Compared with other premier institutions worldwide, our gender diversity lags behind. So you see the here, this is a pointer, right? Here, okay, yeah, so National Taiwan, and here is we are always behind in terms of gender equity. So, and lack of female faculty is seen everywhere, but it is particularly pronounced in STEM, like engineering, science, but also in areas of social sciences, such as law and economics, as you see here in the economics is not doing good in terms of gender equity among researchers. Now, these numbers appear to be reflective not just of faculty, but of the entire academic culture at the University of Tokyo. So perhaps more shocking to you is the gender imbalance among our students. Only about 20 of our undergraduate student body is women. And no academic faculty, including education and pharmacy, which generally attract more women in Japan, has a majority of female students at the University of Tokyo. Faculty of engineering is only 11% women. So you are doing so good. Look like this. Yeah, right. So I understand this is a sharp contrast with National Taiwan University, where female undergraduate students compare 44% and 24% of the College of Engineering too. So that University of Tokyo's 20% female ratio, people often ask why this is the case. It mirrors our applicant pool too. Unfortunately, we are often not considered an attractive institution for high achieving female students. Social and cultural factors contribute to this, with many families investing more in sons, boys. Academic excellence is often seen as a masculine trait, and regrettably, the University of Tokyo may be viewed as an unappealing prospect for daughters' future. So recognize these challenges. We launched an initiative called #WeChangeUTokyo. It is designed not just to alter statistics, but they begin to shift the institutional culture. So this project has 3 pillars. The first is raising awareness on gender equity within UTokyo, and the second is supporting career development for female researchers. And the third is rapidly increasing the number of female faculty. These interconnected actions are designed to create a cycle propelling us toward more diversity on our campus. And our numerical targets are ambitious yet realistic. By 2027, we aim for female faculty to comprise 25% of our academic staff, and for female PhD recipients to reach 30%, to design for the next generation of scholars. And to achieve this, we are taking concrete measures. For example, if a faculty hires a tenured female professor from outside the headquarters, will subsidize 2 female junior scholars for 3 years, for example. Or similar incentives apply for internal promotions to full professorship. If a school promotes one woman to a tenured full professor, the headquarters subsidizes hiring 1 female junior scholar for the next 3 years. So we are working quite hard, and also working to attract more talented female students. As I mentioned, that we have only 20% in the undergraduate population at the University of Tokyo. So our alumni network is reaching out to top female high school students nationwide, and with particular emphasis on those outside Tokyo. And additionally, we are offering housing support for female students from outside regions. So creating an inclusive culture is just as crucial as increasing numbers. Faculty hiring committees are also encouraged to undergo unconscious bias training, and we are implementing new coursework on gender and inclusion topics And as for students, we offer online courses, including those on sexual consent, reinforce a culture of respect and safety. So we have this variety of training and education programs. Now, sorry, this is Japanese because we did it mainly in Japan. Our campus is predominantly Japanese, so we have to appeal to Japanese people, Japanese population to this. Our recent campaign, I'm talking about our recent campaign, about awareness of gender imbalance among students through this, among awareness of the gender imbalance. We distributed these posters across campus. And this asks here, this is a question, why are there so few women at the University of Tokyo? So if in May this year, if you have come to the University of Tokyo, you see these posters on campus all over, right? We had even this on trays of the university cafeteria. We have to eat lunch with this question. So, and this poster garnered strong attention, not only from within the university community, but also from outside, like media. Major media reported on our campus as one of the signs of our commitment to changing the university culture, as well as the profile of the student composition. However, it is not all rosy. Our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion often faces both overt and subtle resistance. In some ways, we view this pushback as a sign that changes we are making are truly transformative. When we pose this question, why are there so few women at the University of Tokyo, we received a range of responses on social media. Some supportive, but others directly attacking our campaign and question itself. These are some of the, you know the X, right? Received a range of responses, and then I won't repeat these comments as many were so offensive and disheartening, but they reveal just how strong opposition to diversity, equity, and inclusion remain within our campus and also society at large. Despite the resistance, our vision remains firm. We recognize there is still much work to be done. Okay, so thus, we will not back down. We put up new posters after that to provide answers to this question. In these posters, we highlight the subtle and persistent challenges known as microaggressions that female students and scientists face throughout their careers. For example, many of my female colleagues and also female students frequently hear remarks like, "Why would you go to graduate school as a woman?" Or, "Your husband must be very generous to let you work so late." We conducted interviews with female students and researchers on campus and printed these remarks on the posters to raise awareness that unintentional discrimination can be especially hurting and discouraging for female scholars and minorities. So these are the answer posters later in the May. The university also must recognize that these microaggressions have a significant negative impact on women's career advancement. So to centralize, I want to talk a little bit about the institution. To centralize such initiatives, we recently launched INCLUDE, the Center for Co-Production of Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity. The name is so long, so we always say INCLUDE, name this as INCLUDE, right? So this is I-E-D, so INCLUDE. INCLUDE uses a participatory model that integrates marginalized perspectives to enrich academic excellence and cultivate an inclusive campus environment. Our mission is to advance equity with a particular focus on the gender and also disability. Now, I'd like to shift a little bit towards globalization. Now, at our university, diversity and inclusion are not only about equity, but they are essential for preparing students and also young scholars to navigate in an increasingly interconnected world. Today's global challenges require us to look beyond national borders and build a truly global network and outlook. This brings us to a vital aspect of our diversity efforts, the intersection between local diversity and global engagement. Enhancing gender diversity, for instance, not only improves inclusivity, but also builds the collaborative and varied perspectives necessary to tackle issues that transcend cultures and also nations. To prepare our students for this, we must recognize how diversity aligns with globalization and adapt our approaches to globalize Japanese education meaningfully. The diversity and global indeed intersect on a campus. This shows the percentage of women among international students here. 40% versus 40% of the international students are women, whereas among Japanese students it was only 20%. So our Japanese students see that outside of Japan, female students are quite prevalent. So also, our Japanese students who are globally oriented and interested in international issues and tend to come to an international event are also women. So I want to encourage their orientation and motivation. However, here again, I have to admit that the culture and mindset of Japanese higher education remains domestic. Currently, the number of Japanese students pursuing education abroad is quite low. In 2023, approximately 60,000 students were studying in other countries, among which 1,190 chose to go to Taiwan as their destination, according to the industry survey. Comparatively, Taiwan, despite having less than 1/5 of Japan's population, sends 56,000 students abroad in the academic year 2023, not including those who choose to study in continent China. As many as almost 7,000 chose to come to Japan to study. So we have almost equal number of students dispatched abroad, but Taiwan's population is 1/5. So you see how Japan is very domestically oriented in terms of education, where we have a big education market inside Japan, and we feel that there's no need to go abroad, maybe the students. So that's the problem. So, however, there's another problem. Unfortunately, the number of Taiwanese students coming to study Japan has not significantly increased. As shown in these charts, the number of students from Taiwan has not risen substantially despite the rapid growth in the number of overseas students studying in Japan. In fact, the proportion of students from Taiwan has decreased over the past decades. Before 2013, Taiwan consistently ranked third after China and South Korea as a source of international students in Japan. However, in 2013, Vietnam overtook Taiwan for the third place. And after 2014, Indonesia or Myanmar also moved ahead. Since then, Taiwan has been in the 5th position. As for our institution, as of May this year, only 179 Taiwanese students are studying at the University of Tokyo. This figure was 183 in 2004, so the number decreased. Given the global rise in student mobility, we should be making greater efforts to welcome more students from Taiwan and encourage more Japanese students to study Taiwan and abroad. So looking at these numbers, one might conclude that Japan is no longer an attractive study destination for Taiwanese students as it once was. However, it's also possible to argue that the relationship between Taiwan and Japan has shifted significantly over the past decade. In the past, Japan was regarded as a leader in Asia due to its advanced science and technology. But now, we must rethink Japan's academic position and identity within Asia and also globally. With rising environmental concerns, the rapid spread of digital technologies, increased global mobility, and the straightforward path of progress through modernization has transformed. Japan's position of prominence from the 20th century has evolved. So I would argue that the decreasing number of students from Taiwan suggests that it is no longer the case that any single nation should lead in academia. Instead, diverse nations and citizenships must come together to collectively shape the future. In light of these shifts, it's time for all of us here to rethink what globalization means for academia and the role that higher education must play in this interconnected world. And as for me, as a leader of Japan's premier institution of higher education, I recognize the urgent need to cultivate students, both male and also female, who can grasp the complexities of global challenges and also changes. It is really important that we prepare the next generation that can navigate the diverse and often competing values that shape our world, ultimately contributing to a more stable and equitable global society. So maybe you have read this book. In this context, cognitive diversity is really essential, I believe. And Matthew Said points out in Rebel Ideas that our worldview is often shaped by our own usually very biased frame of reference. So to overcome inherent blind spots we must engage with perspectives different from others across gender, socioeconomic background, nationality, and more. So I feel that really imagine the solutions we could unlock on complex issues like environmental sustainability that I see so many catchphrases and slogans here when I arrived in Taiwan. You have a very you have many environmental actions. It's not so active in Japan, so I'm very impressed. But such environmental sustainability measures and also digital transformation, which you are also very advanced, or societal polarization, if we tapped into the rich diversity of experiences and backgrounds, we may have better solutions. So universities, especially globally situated institutions like the National Taiwan University or University of Tokyo, must embrace this collective intelligence. And not only to counter groupthink, but also to drive interdisciplinary solutions for global changes. So we at the University of Tokyo really emphasize the interdisciplinary focus, interdisciplinary programs that combine both STEM also as well as science, social sciences to bring these collective intelligence together to solve and challenge these global issues. So I think this is Matthew Said's explanation, as you know, that it used to be that University of Tokyo used to think that this way, that we, as many geniuses together, can solve better, can find better solutions. But as Said says, then we have so much room for blind spots. And we have to move to this. In the framework that we agree, we find various wisdoms and knowledge from many fields, from experts from many fields can better challenge the global issues. And without framework, it doesn't work either. So this type of working at Future University can be one target that we can together aim at. So I hope today's talk has highlighted some transformative power of diversity, equity, and inclusion as essential pillar of a forward-looking education. And I hope that you have grasped what kind of challenges we are facing at the University of Tokyo, and we are not, even if the challenges are so big, we don't back down, and we don't give up, and to create a foundation that every individual can thrive. Our responsibility extends beyond nurturing scholars, which used to be one major task for the research universities. But it includes, as we gather here today, developing global citizens prepared to navigate an interconnected world and educate young people for this and get prepared. It is, I know, not easy. It's like a marathon. Yeah, we've just started. The University of Tokyo especially, we just started. But we are committed, and we feel that it is an urgent problem. And finally, we deeply value our partnership with the National Taiwan University, an old friend, an old competitor, and yeah, and old and good colleagues, recognizing that our shared learning strengthens both institutions, I believe. So together with National Taiwan University and the people of Taiwan, I hope we, the University of Tokyo, can redefine what it means to lead in higher education towards a more globalized and especially the equitable future. Thank you very much.
Thank Professor Hayashi for sharing not only the challenges, but also U Tokyo's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Next, would you please invite our next keynote speaker, Professor Hitoshi Aoki. Professor Aoki is the former Executive Vice President of Hitotsubashi University, and now he is the advisor to the President. Professor Aoki.
Good morning. 尊敬的老师们 and 学生们，大家好，我是青木人纪一桥大学 and Chinese part is over. I served as an executive vice president for education at Hitotsubashi University, Ichao Dashi. I would like to call it HU for abbreviation. And from September 2020 to August 2024. My term of office as vice president coincided precisely with the COVID-19 pandemic. I am a researcher in law, not in education. Therefore, today's presentation is not based on my academic research, but rather on my personal experiences as Vice President in charge of education during the pandemic. I will share what I observed and what I personally thought, drawing on specific experiences during that time. Over the past 20 years, Japanese national universities have faced numerous challenges related to governance and finance. Due to the decline of the Japanese economy and resulting pressure on national budget, financial issues have become particularly severe. This situation has directly or indirectly affected the quality of the university education. However, I will refrain from discussing these issues in today's presentation. Let me briefly introduce HU, where I work, and the university I graduated from. It is one of the oldest national universities in Tokyo, and it will celebrate its 150th anniversary next year in 2025. While Japan's 7 leading national universities, as you see on the slide, including University of Tokyo, are former imperial universities. But HU has a different origin. It had been Tokyo University of Commerce before World War II. Currently, the entrance examination for our university is challenging as those of the former imperial universities. And due to its popularity, especially among Japanese young students, it attracts many excellent candidates, just like the former imperial universities. Our university's emblem you see on the screen still features the letters CC, which stand for Commercial College, not carbon copy, never. We have been using this emblem nearly 1.5 centuries, for we have always been proud of its origins. The university's motto is Captains of Industry. Incidentally, one of the founders of Tokyo University of Commerce was Eiichi Shibusawa, known as the father of Japanese capitalism, who is now featured on Japanese new 10,000 yen banknote. The campus is located in the western part of Tokyo, in Kunitachi City. Although it is not expansive compared with University of Tokyo or National Taiwan University, it is surrounded by greenery, and it is very beautiful. We love it. Some of the buildings closely resemble those at National Taiwan University. On the left side, you know very well, is NTU's School History Museum. And on the right side is our university's auditorium. They look alike, isn't it? HU has 5 undergraduate faculties for over 70 years, the university had been organized into 4 faculties. The faculties of Commerce and Management, Economics, Law, and Social Sciences. However, last year, in 2023, a new faculty, the Faculty of Social Data Science, was established. The graduate schools includes 6 areas of study: the School of Business Administration, Economics, Law, Social Sciences, Language and Society, as well as Social Data Science. Additionally, there are 3 professional graduate schools, such as MBA schools and law school and the School of International and Public Policy. These schools have achieved excellent results. For example, our law school is well known for its highest cumulative pass rate for the bar exam in Japan. Let me briefly explain the characteristics of education at HU. Currently, there are 4,348 undergraduate students across all 5 faculties. By comparison, the University of Tokyo, UT, with its 10 faculties, has more than 14,000 undergraduate students. This means that the number of undergraduate students at HU is less than 1/3 of that at UT. In addition, HU has about 1,880 graduate students, while UT has more than 13,000 undergraduate students, meaning that the number of graduate students at HU is only around about 1/7 of the University of Tokyo. As for the percentage of the female students, I'm very sorry for Professor Hayashi. We have attained more than 30% of female students. And one of our undergraduate faculty, I mean the Faculty of Social Science, as for that faculty, the freshmen of this year, the number of the female students surpassed the number of the male students. We are proud of that. We are so sorry for that. Yes. Yeah, I have described the differences between HU and the University of Tokyo from a quantitative perspective. To put it simply, HU is a small university with a small student body. Since many people are familiar with other people, each other, a close-knit community is formed on our campus. From a qualitative perspective, HU is also a unique institution. As I mentioned, for many years, HU had been specializing in social sciences and didn't have any faculty specializing in natural science or engineering until last year. This is the first distinctive feature. While this has been a feature we have cherished, in today's era of big data, we recognized in order to nurture individuals who can drive innovation, solve societal problems, it is essential to offer an education that integrates social sciences and big data, so data science. As a result, we established the Faculty of Social Data Science last year. Unfortunately, this new faculty has been successful in attracting highly talented students through its entrance examination. The second distinctive feature is that being a small university, there were a few the second distinctive feature, there were few spatial or institutional barriers between the undergraduate and graduate programs. All undergraduate students are located on one campus, and all campus buildings are shared by every faculty. Undergraduate classes are mixed across the 5 faculties, and every student is required to take a certain number of specialized courses from other faculties in order to graduate. Similarly, many graduate courses can be taken across different departments, just like the undergraduate programs. The third distinctive feature is that HU has long placed a strong emphasis on small group teaching and learning through seminars. Seminars are compulsory, and in many cases, they follow a format where students read a text and present their findings to each other and engage in discussions. The focus is on the students themselves, with the instructor acting more as a facilitator. What I would like to emphasize is the length of time that the seminar continues. At HU, all undergraduate students choose a seminar led by a faculty member in their 3rd year, in the beginning of the 3rd year, and remain in that seminar, the same seminar, for at least 2 full years until they graduate. As the academic year of HU is divided into 4 quarters, 4 terms, the seminars continues for 8 consecutive terms. This is quite long, I think. At the end, students submit the result of their study and research in the form of a graduate thesis, which is required for graduation. Most seminars are composed of fewer than 10 students, allowing this small group to study together for an extended period of time under the guidance of the same instructor. The 4th distinctive feature is that HU has a well-established study abroad program. Thanks to the general support of the Alumni Association, students studying at overseas universities and the exchange agreement receive not only airfare, but also a monthly scholarship of around 100,000 yen every month. Each year, more than 100 undergraduate students take advantage of this good system to study abroad for 6 months or a full year. Financial support is also provided for short-term summer programs, and language training programs. So many students take the opportunity to study overseas. In terms of inbound international students, including both undergraduate and graduate students, there are currently 917 students, representing approximately 14% of the total student population. The COVID-19 pandemic posed a significant challenge to our education. At the outset, HU shifted entirely online teaching. The start of 2020 academic year was delayed by 1 month, during which time the university signed the corporate contract with Zoom. And the faculty members worked tirelessly to learn how to use it. A manual for faculty member was created and distributed. And while face-to-face teaching was suspended, large classrooms that allowed for social distancing were opened for students to attend online classes. This was done because some students did not have adequate internet access at home to participate in online learning. Although younger students, in general, are more familiar with IT devices than older faculty members like me, the pandemic still posed a significant challenge to the young students, them as well. Some students had to purchase new devices to participate in comfortably online classes, while others needed to upgrade their home internet to ensure a stable connection. Students who have moved to Tokyo after being accepted to the university faced the difficult challenge of not being able to visit the campus, make friends, or socialize. As a result, the issue of providing mental health support for these students who are often left feeling isolated became a serious concern at many universities in Japan. However, in the case of HU, all classes were conducted online only until the summer break of 2020, which was only for half a year. In the fall of 2020, in-person classes resumed for seminars and small group English classes. From the 2020-21 academic year onward, a hybrid approach was adopted, combining both online and in-person classes, with the proportion of in-person classes gradually increasing. At the same time, students' extracurricular activities such as sports or music activities were also gradually allowed to resume. And little by little, our campus resumed or began to regain its vibrancy. As the pandemic panic began to subside, we were able to calmly discuss the advantages and disadvantages of online classes. At HU, we conducted surveys among students and faculty to assess the strengths and the weaknesses of online learning. Although there were some differences in perception between students and faculty, when asked about their preferences for the future of education, the majority of both students and the faculty responded that the combination of in-person and online classes would be ideal. As a result of this process, around 80% of classes have now returned to in-person classes, in-person instruction, while about 20% classes are still being conducted online. The pandemic had a significant impact not only on classes, but on also on entrance exams and study abroad program. With regard to entrance exams, all national universities, Japanese universities, conducted special makeup exams for students who were not able to take the exam due to COVID-19, only due to COVID-19. This was the policy of Japanese government. As a result, the workload for administering entrance exams doubled, exhausting both faculty and administrative staff and me. I was in charge of the entrance examination as a vice president for education. It was so exhausting. As for studying abroad, the number of students going abroad from HU temporarily dropped to 0 by the COVID-19. But now it has recovered to levels even higher than before the pandemic. During the pandemic, we were forced to rethink the meaning of studying abroad. We believed that the essence of studying abroad lies in actually living in the host country and attending classes on the university campus. Therefore, we didn't send students to universities abroad that only offered online classes, nor did we allow them to participate in online classes from Japan. That was our decision. However, among the inbound international students, there were some who had been accepted by HU before the pandemic, but due to the policies of their home countries, were not allowed to leave after the outbreak of the COVID-19. These students attended HU's online lectures from their home countries. Even after the resumption of outbound study abroad programs, some of HU's online classes remained in place. This led to another interesting new issue. Whether students studying abroad could take HU's online courses from their host countries. This was a new issue. After serious discussion, we decided to prohibit this practice. Concentrate on your study abroad. This was the main opinion of the faculty meeting. Our experience during the pandemic has shown us the remarkable potential of the internet and IT. If the pandemic had occurred, say 30 years ago or so, university education would probably have come to a complete halt for about 2 years. The advancement of IT will continue to enrich education in the future, further reducing spatial limitations. This is a promising outlook that higher education professionals around the globe would probably agree. As the future of higher education is inseparable from IT, it is important in higher education will only continue to grow. However, the increasing importance of IT in the future of higher education does not mean that teachers, peer interactions, or physical campus space will become obsolete. HU places seminars at the heart of our education in settings like seminars where professionals and students can closely share time and space, engage in direct discussions and dialogue, both inside and outside the classroom, and even enjoy occasional social activities together, the real human interaction that occurs offers far more than what we can get gained from the virtual electronic exchanges of the online world, in my view. University education is not merely about the transmission of knowledge. It also plays a crucial role in providing a space on campus where real human connections are formed, leading to emergence of new ideas and communities. It is through the long-term interpersonal interactions among individuals that students enhance their communication skills, gain perspective by sharing their own views, and develop deeper thinking. Moreover, it is not just the student who learn. Teachers also gain much from their students. While I acknowledge the great benefits of the virtual world, I believe that it has not yet fully replaced the value of a real face-to-face interaction. These two photos are from one of my seminars. In the photo on the left, you can see the students studying, while in the photo on the right, we are playing a game, enjoying a game. As you can see, they are smiling. Learning should be enjoyable, in my view. Next, we have two more photos from a visit I took with my seminar students to NTU just before the pandemic. In the left photo, the students are thrilled to be on the campus of NTU, experiencing the university and Taiwan firsthand. In the right photo, a student is excited to have discovered a building at NTU that looks quite similar to our auditorium. If you look closely, you can see Professor Li Maoshan, my old friend, in the background of the picture. After this, the student explored an exhibition of inside the building, and where she learned more about the history of NTU and deepened her understanding concerning the relationship between Taiwan and Japan. She learned something happy, and also she learned something unhappy. As Vice President for Education at a small institution during the 4 years of the pandemic, what I have come to realize most strongly is the richness of in-person education and the importance of human interactions that take place in the physical space of the campus. As long as we assume that university education is more than just a transmission of knowledge in classrooms, the future of education depends on enhancing in-person learning, developing online courses that can stand on par with it, and designing campus spaces that nurture both students and faculty. Let me say again, learning should be enjoyable. So far, face-to-face classes and activities are much more enjoyable than online ones for both students and professors. In other words, concerning the online classes, online education, there is much room for improvement. Thank you for your attention.
Thank Professor Aoki for sharing the uniqueness of teaching and learning at Hitotsubashi University, and also human interactions really matter, just like what we are having today. And now we will have a short break. Please enjoy the coffee and tea outside. The next keynote speech will begin at 11:30. See you shortly. next keynote speech will begin soon. Please be seated. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, please join me in welcoming our next keynote speaker, Professor Wang Hongren, Vice President for Academic Affairs, National Taiwan University. Professor Wang.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm very excited to be here presenting on the topic of future-focused university. So I'll share with you what we do in National Taiwan University to prepare our students for what's ahead. So, but before I can talk about our initiative, I think we need to have a picture about the future. What is the future may look like, and what kind of challenges are there in the future awaiting for our students. So I like to use the term VUCA to describe our view of the future and use it to introduce the essential characteristics that we think the student needs to have in order to be a leader in the future. So the VUCA is for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So volatility, where should I? Here. So volatility is characterized by a large shift in technology, in economic conditions, in social structures. We have all witnessed how the rise in AI is transforming every aspect of our lives, right? The way we work, the kind of talents demanded by the industry has been changed within a year or within months. So and many of these large changes cannot have been fully anticipated. So from this example, I think we need to equip our students with adaptable and transferable skills in order to, so that they can respond quickly when the conditions changed. For the uncertainty, a lot of things now are very difficult to predict. No one has expected the Russia-Ukraine war to have lasted so long. And it's hard to predict whether and when the next pandemic outbreak may take place, right? So uncertainty makes the long-term planning difficult. And so the students may need support and the strategies to help them manage uncertainty and to build resilience against uncertainty. So complexity. So a lot of things today, a lot of events are complex in nature. The climate change, the energy crisis, the poverty, they are all multidimensional, involving issues from politics, economics, public communications, etc. So in order to be the problem solvers in this complex world, I think our students need to have a broad range of knowledge so that they can understand the problems, can find solutions. And also they should be able to communicate with people of different background, with different trainings. Ambiguity is when we have the information, but the information can be interpreted differently. So the so-called right course of action is not always obvious. So that complicates the decision-making and at the times that it requires the decision makers to make a judgment. So for this situation, I think our students need to have the critical thinking ability and to have the problem-solving skills. And they have to make tough decisions when the time comes. And if they are the leaders, they should be able to provide a clear vision despite the ambiguity and effectively communicate the vision to the public. So in order to cultivate these capabilities in our students, we proposed the INT system. Now the INT stands for illuminating, navigating, and transforming. Now this INT system is not only inspired by our vision of the future, but it is also motivated by our survey results on our freshmen. So we conducted a survey on our freshmen asking a lot of questions, including what they expect from the university, what are their career goals, and their self-assessments on achieving the goals. So based on the results of this survey, we concluded that about 40% of our students need comprehensive, multi-dimensional support from the university. So INT system was born. Now I have to acknowledge that many of these action plans were initiated by our current Vice President Dean when he was in my position. I mean, when he was the head of the academic affairs. So a lot of things were started when he was in this position. Okay. So the INT system has three important components. The first component is illuminating. So we started the academic advising office. I'm still trying to find the best position to stand. So I'm adapting to the. All right, but maybe here. Illuminating. So we started the academic advising office, which is the first of its kind in Taiwan. It is specialized to tailor to the needs and the characteristics of our local students. And the service they provided is like a guiding light that illuminates the path ahead for the students. So the students can see the way forward in their journey. Now, this office is small in size. They have only 5 key members, but they leverage the school's resources and build a large supporting network consists of faculty members, industry, alumni, and peer mentors. And now, students often walk into the office and expressing their concerns, their frustrations, their anxiety about the study, their grades, and their future. But very often, they are not really aware of their root cause of their concern. So in order to serve these students, the staff of this office developed the FAST model. The FAST is short for 4-quadrant advising strategy, right? 4-quadrant advising strategy, great. So this is a systematic approach that can quickly evaluate the students, understand their needs, and identify their weakness, and then connect them with the appropriate resources. So with this FAST model, they are able to support a large number of students over the years, in spite of the very small size of its office. So the next components of the INT system is navigating. So I'd like to introduce the specialization programs. Now, a specialization program is a theme-based learning module that consists of 4 to 5 courses that starting from the introductory level course, progress to the more advanced courses, and then finish with a capstone. An obvious advantage of having this system is that we can turn the scattered information of the courses into an organized, structured learning map. It's like a navigation guide. So for example, if a student wants to study the Internet of Things, he or she has to take the red line and start by these courses, take these courses. And if he wants to study the information security, then he should take the blue line, right? And this is for the artificial intelligence, and that's the, no, this is a green line, and this is a blue line, yeah. Right. So this helps the students to plan and to navigate their learning path. Now, another important advantage is for the department. The departments can use these specialization programs to show their relevance in today's world. Now, this will be particularly useful for departments that want to bring a new image or refresh their image to suit the demand of today's society. For example, we have the forest departments. They offer the forest therapy as a specialization program. And forest therapy is an important, effective way promoted by the UN, United Nations, as a way to enhance people's well-being. And we have the political science departments. They offer the public opinion analysis, which has a much higher visibility in the job market. And in the econ department, they have the data analytics, which are also highly demanded in the job market. So this is a way that the department can use to let the students know that what they are doing and what they can do after graduates. So this program, this system, I think is good for the students and also good for the departments. So currently we have 267 specialization programs in the campus. I want to emphasize that these specialization programs also help to promote interdisciplinary study. Now it is because one of the major obstacles for students pursuing interdisciplinary study is in figuring out how to use their limited elective credits to build solid knowledge in specific areas. Right? So, but with the availability of 267 specialization programs, students can easily find ones that match their interests, and then they can use the map to select the courses to get the specialization. So I think the specialization program designed in this way helps students to make the most use of their credits and to build solid foundations in the areas they are interested in. I also want to highlight the fact that this system is an open access learning platform, meaning the students do not have to apply beforehand. Once they finish the credits, finish the courses, they get the certificates. So in this way, we encourage students to explore their academic interests. And it also helps students to build a broad range of knowledge across different fields. So once they have this multidisciplinary training, they will be in a better position to solve the complex problem that we mentioned earlier. And they will also be more capable in engaging in the communications with people from different backgrounds with different trainings. So here are some statistics about the specialization programs. We now have 267 specialization programs, and these are the number of students who graduate with at least one specialization programs. So for example, in this 2023 academic year, where they graduate this summer, more than 1,000 students graduate with at least one specialization programs. That's about 30% of the total graduates of the undergrad graduates. So, and about half of these students took these specialization programs outside their home departments, meaning it's an interdisciplinary study. So, and we believe that these numbers will be increasing steadily over time. And so we also conduct a survey on our graduates to get their opinion on the SP program. So, and we get an overwhelmingly positive response from our students. And many says that the SP help them to enhance their career certainty and also help them to explore their academic interest. Now, the SP can also use as building blocks, the Lego blocks, and we can use them to construct interesting curriculums. Now, this is a topic that I'm now turning to, which is related to the third component of the INT system, which is transforming. Now, I'm going to introduce the UIBP and the CIBP. Now, UIBP is University Interdisciplinary Bachelor's Program, and the CIBP is a counterpart offered at the college level. Now, the UIBP is open to all students. Everyone can join this program. And basically, it allows the students to design their own major. So when they graduate, their diploma will show the specific major they created instead of, or in addition to the traditional ones like economics or geography. And the learning content of the major is built from the combination of the 4 specialization programs that the students select. And that's why I said this is like building blocks that can be used to construct a UIBP or a CIBP. This program is only been implemented for about 3 years. This is the third year since it started. And we already have more than 130 students participated in this program. And for example, this summer, we received more than 80 applications for the UIBP, and we invited more than 200 faculty members to help us review the process, review the applications. So this is a serious and rigorous process. The students have to present a clear vision to show why their major is interesting, is valuable, is important, and cannot have been achieved within the current curriculum framework. And they also have to demonstrate that the 4 specialization programs that they selected are complementary to each other in supporting his learning goals. So basically, this is a self-directed learning program, and we believe that this learning process will help to promote critical thinking among the students, encourage them to think or learn outside of the box, and to cultivate the ability to communicate and to persuade people of their action. So, for example, this is one of our students' UIBP. He studied the human-robot interaction for long-term care. And he combines the cognitive science, the long-term care program, the robotics, and the human-computer interactions. You see, these are combinations of social sciences and the STEM programs, right? So I think it should be obvious that these students use this program to address the labor shortage issue in the aging society. And I think without the flexibility of the UIBP, it's really difficult to get a substantial knowledge in each of these areas. And here's another example. Now, this student, his major is spatial policy and the planning science. So his combination is rail transportation, geospatial information technology, public opinion analysis from the political science department, and program for East Asian studies. So he actually wrote a thesis for his degree. So the thesis is about analyzing the socio-economic impact of railway elevation project. And in this thesis, he has to develop empirical analysis methods. I think he conducted a survey on the local residents. I think these are learned from this public opinion analysis skills. And then he conducted academic research using the knowledge from the railway transportation and the geospatial information technology. So I think these are all very interesting topics to study and cannot be easily obtained within the current curriculum framework. So my talk is short. Okay, so I'm almost done. Finally, I want to talk about our current achievements and the impact of this INT system. So we want to get more international exposures, so we go to conferences to present this system, including the POD. POD is for Professional and Organizational Development Network for Higher Education, which is a large organization dedicated to enhancing the teaching and learning in higher education. And I'm currently the chairperson of the TPOD. TPOD is a pod in Taiwan, and we have 18 member universities, and many of them participate in the poster session outside this lecture hall. And we are organizing panels to attend the POD conference in November this year. I think this is in Chicago, right? Another vice president will take the team there. And we go there not only by ourselves, but we also invite our TPOD members to go together to show our innovations, the Taiwan's innovations in higher education. Now, in terms of student reach, we ensure that this INT system is accessible to all the NTU students, and we continue to look for ways to expand our impacts on the campus. We also conducted a series of national forums and in various places in Taiwan, and totally they have attracted more than 1,000 practitioners to participate. And this series of forums also support a national reform agenda that is put forward by the Ministry of Education, and that will be started in 2025 next year. So to conclude, I think this INT system has a big impact on our campus, and it also supports higher education reform at a national level. And we hope that this INT system will prepare our students, empower students, so they will face the future challenge with competence and confidence. Thank you.
Thank Professor Wang for sharing how we use the INT system to support all NTU students. And now we will move on to the panel discussion. And please give us some time to arrange the stage. And now may we invite Professor Ding and all the keynote speakers to the stage.
Okay, let me spend 3 minutes to conclude or to summarize all the speakers' talk today in Mandarin Chinese. Oh, I'm sorry for that. 第一件事情，我觉得哈，今天非常高兴看到这个3个学校 present 他们的他们学校最重要的一个 issue。那从EVP 那个林香里哈，那个 Tokyo 他们在讲他们面对的挑战的时候，其实是男女的不平等，或者说男女的 imbalance。那你可以看到女生在，尤其不管是科学也好，或者甚至是他们学校的这个 faculty 或者是这个学生人数都偏低，所以女生在他们那个大学里面其实挑战很大了哈。那这个在台湾算是好，我们台湾其实在过去多年的努力底下，我们做的还算不错。他的 data 也基本上秀我们这样子，所以第一件事情他们有讲到他们的努力，包含说他们从要补助这个faculty 的这个 position for 这个 department 去雇佣这个女生的这个 faculty 哈啊，然后还有其他的 issue， 包含宣传啊，你吃饭的地方都有广告，要大家想一想，这个 gender equality， 那我觉得这些很重要。那他第二点讲的部分是比较属于说国际学生的部分，出去的国际生跟进来的国际生，他的之间的不平衡。那在日本基本上他们很多的学生不太愿意到国外去，那在台湾。这个问题比较相对小一点点。你看，我们有56000个人出国留学，他们只有6万多人出国留学，他们是我们的5倍的人口，所以他基本上讲说，他们还需要努力，我们也需要努力的。其实台湾是一个海岛型的国家，我们需要让我们的国民能够更加的国际化。那这个四处的学习也好，吸引国际的这个经验回到台湾来贡献都很好。好，那这是他的讲第二个重点。第三个重点，其实他讲一点点有关于这个 interdisciplinary 的这个的教学跟学习了哈。那但是这部分我看我们这个王洪仁教务长讲的特别好哈。等一下我再来summarize 他的talk。那第二部分在一桥大学这一部分，我们看到它是一个比较人文社科的一个大学，虽然是小型，但是他们对于教学的这个要求，尤其是小课室的讨论，那利用这样的设施，怎么样让他们的教学效能变得更好？那他也特别讲到说，他们在过去几年里面设立了一个新的 program 社科学院的部分，然后另外也提到有关于在COVID-19 期间，他们用在这个教学上的努力，包含新的 technology， 包含他去跟那个 Zoom 谈了一个 corporate 这个 deal。其实台湾很幸福，我们台大刚好跟那个讯联科技有合作，所以我们那时候是用 U 了哈，而且还是免费的用 U meeting 那部分让我们克服那个 pandemic 的困难。但是其实一个很重要的事情是，他也分享到教学这个man to man 或是 in person 的 interaction 其实是非常重要而美好的。他最后也用这个期待大家觉得说学习应该是快乐的，当然呢，他带着学生到台大来参访的时候。特别快乐，所以我们非常高兴看到那一点哈。那所以基本上学习其实有很多的是 online 的学习，也有很多的是这个face to face 的 interaction， 这其实是让大家学习这个更快乐的一个要件了哈。那所以他的结论也是说，这个face to face 的学习大概不会因为任何元素而不见了啦哈。那第三个部分是我们这个王洪仁教务长的presentation。他今天的 presentation 让我觉得好 proud of 我们台湾大学哈，有这么好的教务长哈，把我以前开始的工作都做得这么美好。I'm just joking 他其实非常有创意，而且你刚才可以听到他对于台大的这个同学的这个学习的擘画。那从我们学习规划办公室的设立那是我设立的是吧？然后他把它扩充到变成是可以解决，可以 illuminating the path for the students。我觉得这其实是非常重要的一件事情。我们在大学里面做研究、做教学，其实最重要的是希望我们的人才培育可以做得更好。人才培育就是未来的希望嘛。我们台湾这个人口不多，然后现在又少子化的问题，所以我们对于每一个年轻人都是我们的宝贝了哈。我想在座的所有的这个来自台湾各地的这个大学里面，也都是这样想啊。所以我们认真的希望在台湾的高教，不管是一般的大学或者是科技大学，都是希望让我们的这个学生未来能够看到方向。所以为什么我们有那个王洪仁教务长特别提到的是，我们有一个这个领域专长的这个设计，让学生在学习的时候选择性更多。然后我们有那个院学士跟校学士的设计，让学生他更多的可以自主学习，组成自己的甚至一个新的学系。所以我们看到这是一个趋势。那所以他刚才的说明其实给我们很多的启发了哈。所以非常非常谢谢这个王教务长哈。那 So that concludes my summary. And so now I will start a couple questions for our speakers, and then we would take the question from the audience, okay? First of all, I would like to ask EVP Hayashi. And I know that the gender equality is a challenge for University of Tokyo, and your university initiated We Change U Tokyo, and I think you incorporate several very interesting measures to try to enhance the gender equality issues. So I was wondering, when you are supporting these faculty members or other measurements that you did, and what would be the short-term effect and the long-term effect? Do you see any changes after you implement these measures?
Okay, thank you very much for the difficult question. But yes, absolutely, we see a lot of cultural changes on the campus. As you see that we, did the poster campaign, and even on the trays of the cafeteria and so on. People nowadays talk about gender imbalance on the campus. It has been really ignored. We knew that the gender imbalance is going on the campus, but we acknowledged that we have the skewed gender balance. And I believe I talked quite many problems and challenges at the University of Tokyo today. And I believe only by acknowledging challenges and problems can we create vision for the future. And I think that by acknowledging the gender imbalance, and we talk about how our gender balance is skewed, thinking how we can create a better campus is quite a common theme, became the quite common theme, especially on the board meeting, and also the, the dean's meetings, and also among students. We have also some active feminist groups who really claim that our campus is not very friendly for women, and so we can improve it, right? So this is a vision that we have created, and in the long term, I can't agree more about your INT system, which is really the interdisciplinary and also global, and students can create their own program and so on. And I talked about the local diversity can lead to the global engagement. And I think in order to make programs like INT system, also, which we also think that is important. And we do have a liberal arts program in the first 2 years at the University of Tokyo. So we've been doing this interdisciplinary thing, interdisciplinary teaching since our establishment of the university. And we really value this. But in order to make this better work, we think that we need gender diversity. And not only gender, but also the citizenship, ethnicity, and all these things. And in the long run, we can lead this to more globally engaged students. So this is our goal. It's not only about how we have more women. I mean, this is very important for us. But beyond that, we share our challenges. We share the vision. And this is something that we want to reach in the long run, and share the vision and create better education.
Okay, thank you. And I especially enjoy that what you put in your speech. You say you want to raise the awareness of the gender equality, and also we are facing the challenge, but then we are not going to back down. That's exactly what you say. And I think that's great. That's great. And we are facing a lot of challenges, not only just genders and also international borders. But also we have the pandemic challenges. So my friend Aoki presented a very good case of your university. And I was wondering, because the IT technology improved a whole lot, and long-distance learning has been discussed for many years. And this pandemic happens, kind of, it gives us an opportunity to practice. So my question to you is, do you see a trend to increase using of this technology in the online learning or distance learning? And do you have any, I think your university, yes, I remember your IR program was quite good and excellent. So have you done any research on these kind of research programs, the learning outcomes in terms of the students learning on different subjects?
Thank you very much. And as for the questions, you praised our IR team. We have an IR team, institutional research team, and they are continuously doing surveys about the university education and how is the outcome of our education, or something like that. And as for the online learning, the effect of that online learning is not still certified, I think. We have a lot of time to go for certify the real outcome of this online learning. Education takes long time. We cannot evaluate it in 5 years or 6 years or so. So I'm not sure the effect of the online learning, and it really solves the problems of distance, physical distance, but it did not solve the problem of time difference. We have experienced some case that the other universities abroad asked us to make joint courses for the student using the online devices. But one of the most difficult problems is time difference. And we have a lot of things to do in order to make a good classes. And it is even among the Japanese universities. We have an association or a consortium of 4 universities in Tokyo. University of Tokyo is not one, but we have the University of Tokyo is a special one. They are the king or queen of our universities, and we are not kings, so we made a friend with 4 universities, and we try to make an online course assembling 4 universities. But even inside Japan, inside Tokyo, the term of the academic term is different, and the beginning time is different. And how to manage that class is different. And we have a lot of to do. I'm not sure I'm answering properly your question.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Speech, concerning speech, we can practice. But as for the Q&A, we cannot practice. So sorry for my poor answer.
They don't know my question ahead of the time, so this is a real challenge. Thank you very much. You actually answered about how do we evaluate the students? And the short-term evaluation is not quite right, but we have to have a more long-term study. But their IR office is quite strong, I think. So anyway, let me ask a question to our Vice President Wang. I know that because you are saying that facing the VUCA environment, we need to let the student to learn how to navigate in their learning environment or in a future environment. So what do you think is a proper, what kind of way that you would think that to enhance the students' navigation ability? And if you put into your context of INT, the INT systems, what are the things that you want to lead them or connect them to for the future career development?
Okay, thank you. I think the answer to this question is also multidimensional. It involves a different work. First of all, the academic advising office, I think, plays an important role. We have students that go to the office asking if he want to be some figure, to work in some industry in the future, what kind of courses that they should take. So they will provide timely advice on this kind of issues. Another thing is, make the information more available, accessible to all the students. I think it's a very important step. Still, currently, a lot of students come to the department, they join the department, and then they will just follow their own curriculum without looking outside for other possibilities. But right now, we are promoting this information, and I believe that by the if more and more students are participating in this direction, they can use their cohort to influence their peers. So if they see their classmates is doing this, is doing that, then he or she will, I think, begin to think about these possibilities. Now, I also want to use this opportunity to do some 植入性行销. That is, we are now also promoting the kind of international collaboration courses, the COIL courses. I think that's also one of the important things that let the students to understand more possibilities that are out there for them in the future. So the COIL is that we have the classroom here and another classroom, for example, in a Seoul National. So they will co-join in the teaching, the classroom, virtual classroom in the cloud. But now we are coming up with a plan that we will follow up in the summer or in the winter, that these classroom students can meet each other. We'll provide funding for our students to visit the counterparts in other university, and also provide some support for their students to come to the university. So that's kind of in-person interactions. I think that will further strengthen the cross-cultural learning. Because I think the cross-cultural, cross-country learning is going to be very important in the future. Now we see that the international politics seems to move towards more closure, because of the geopolitical tensions. But we as educators, I think we need to do our best to really let people in different culture, different countries to understand each other, to break the barrier and to reduce the misunderstandings. So that's something we will promote. We'll actually launch this project in November, right? Just a couple of weeks later. So to promote the international co-learning, and we call the NTU Beyond Borders project. And I will sincerely invite our friends from other universities abroad to join us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You lead me to ask the next question. Quite great. Before I open the floor to all the audience here, I would like to ask a question for three speakers. A moment ago, EVP Hayashi was sharing about the internationalization and the student outbound and inbound imbalances, and also how do we encourage students to go abroad to study or to exchange or to experience the international society or environment. And I know that different universities would have different approach and strategy, and I would hope that three of universities can share your experiences and your outlook, or looking forward, what kind of strategy that you would take to expand not only just beyond border, but other issues, or some details that we can learn from each other. Because a lot of us here today, not only we want to have the education just inside our country, we also want our students to expand their vision to the world. So, EVP Hayashi, you want to start? Sharing how do you promote the international education?
How to promote international education? Yes, that's. I think it's easy to say that we can, because everybody nowadays go abroad and see the world, but if it comes to the education, it should be institutional. Like Professor Aoki said, for example, even within Japanese universities, we have different calendars and different time schedules. And we also, University of Tokyo, as my experience, we once had a co-teaching with Seoul National University. But we have a totally different academic calendar and a different requirements for the classes and so on. So I would say if we want to invigorate internationalization of or globalization of education, we tend to start not big, but we tend to start, for example, with summer programs or short-term programs to give students opportunities first to see how teaching or how education look like abroad, to inspire them what different perspectives the other universities have in teaching and give, or in sitting in a classroom. And then maybe some of them go to a graduate school outside and so on. So I would introduce step by step the different menus for different recipes for students who can choose what the most appropriate contents they can have and achieve in order to achieve their own goals. That's my answer. I hope this answers your question.
Thank you.
Can I say
How
one thing
about
about
Professor Aoki?
Yeah. As for the Professor Hayashi's answer, I would like to talk about one personal experience. I graduated from NTU Hitotsubashi University, 一橋大学 in 1984. And I graduated from the Faculty of Law. And a few years ago, I happened to look at the yearbook which I bought on my graduation. And I was surprised to find that in 1984, there was no international student graduated from the Faculty of Law of Hitotsubashi Universities. And it took 40 years to have 14% of international students. I totally agree with the Professor Hayashi. It needs a lot of time to internationalize. And as she said, that the younger generations are not excited about going abroad. It is my sense, it is my observation. It is, in a part, the internet is responsible for that. They can see around the world through screens by internet. It is not so exciting for them to go abroad anymore compared with my generation. And as for Japan, many students know that Japan is very safe country, and it is one of the most comfortable country to live in. So this is a special program for Japan, I think. And averagely speaking, the female students are more adventurous from my observation.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm speaking again. I would like to distinguish in terms of globalization. In Japan, for example, we always associate globalization with going to Europe or to the United States. And this has been always, I see, a little bit problematic that, that our students, if we talk about going abroad to study, then everybody wants to go to Europe or United States. I think here it's more or less the same. And I want to inspire, and I'm working very hard with Vice President Yaguchi, who will talk later this afternoon. Want to inspire our students to go not only Europe and the United States, but also to other countries other than Europe and United States to see really the complex VUCA problems. And this is what I believe is the global definition of globalization of education in this 21st century.
VP Wang, you want to add?
So I think I already answered part of the questions earlier, but I want to add that this NTU Beyond Borders is a joint effort with the International Affairs Office and also the Students Affairs Office. So this is kind of a comprehensive, not including the teaching, but also student activities. But really, I want to mention another thing, that is internationalization is not only for our students to go abroad, but also to bring other students to the campus and also bring other faculty members, the foreign faculty members to join us. So in order to make it happen, I think it's important to make the campus more suitable for the foreign students, foreign faculty members. So the EMI. So we have been working very hard to push the EMI, the English as a medium of instruction. And we have a bilingual center set up in the university, and Vice President Ding is the director. So a lot of the EMI advancements was pushed by him. And right now we have more than, how many courses?
1,900.
So he knows more than I do. 1,900 courses offered in English. And so I think this is the beginning of our internationalization in a campus. And we already see a lot of the increase in the foreign students this semester. But I think this is a long-term efforts, and we'll start from the campus, making it more welcoming environments for foreigners. And then we also have the programs to send our students and faculty members abroad and to do the in-person interactions.
Okay, thank you. I want to do a little bit of commercialization too. In the past 10 years, our international student has increased 3 times, 300% increment. So that means that we introduce a lot of system to try to incorporate, to establish an environment better for international students to join our program. Not only just the EMI courses, the English talk courses increase many, many times, but also we have some short-term programs that are great for international students to take a little bit of the taste of NTU, and later on they will come to NTU. And the same thing, if our students go to University of Tokyo, they would, just for a small little bit time, they would later on go to the Tokyo. Yes, we can establish that kind of connection too. So anyway, any question from the audience? Okay, EVP Fu.
So my question is about generative AI, maybe out of scope of our keynote speaker of this morning. But as we know, the general AI, artificial intelligence is quite popular nowadays, and maybe they go to many fields. Even Taiwanese government now, for example, the Minister of the economics, they put a lot of effort for this kind of industry. So I would like to know what's the attitude and the strategy for our foreigner speaker in your university or maybe for your government have some kind of maybe input in this kind of area. Okay, yeah.
Hayashi or Professor Aoki, you want to start?
Thank you very much for your question. I intentionally avoided that topic because we are at a loss facing the development of AI, and we have been discussing it a lot, but we haven't any concrete vision for how to, what kind of attitude should we take for the use of AI. At least we don't prohibit it, and we rather encourage students to use that wisely. But I suppose the university education, especially entrance examinations or term end examination, will be impacted greatly by the AI, and we just make a comments that relying totally on AI response is plagiarism. This is the very simplest message to the student, but we don't have any concrete attitude toward that. Sorry for that.
Thank you very much. It's also concurring Professor Aoki. It's quite a complicated issue, and we issued the guidelines for students how to use them, and we won't restrict them from using. They can use, but we warn. It is really the field of interdisciplinarity really values. So we tend to say that it is good. It's a good thing to use for a good purpose, but we warn them what kind of deficiencies and also risk we can run. And as for me, I am also in a part of the project of how we use AI in society, and in terms of, for example, big data. That some sort of information, especially for gender or minorities, are also very disadvantaged. So we would like to keep giving them warning that they have to be careful. We should do that, especially at the university like us. 1/3 of our students go to the engineering faculty at the University of Tokyo. This is a very big technical university. And many of them are very optimistic about technologies. Some of them really believe that the technologies can change the world and can change the world for the better. But at the time of this uncertainty, we should reconsider what technology means to our society, and also about so forth to education. And finally, I would like to add one more thing. It is really a problematic about our entrance examination, especially essay writing and so on, right? So we depend very much on the entrance examination in our entire system at the University of Tokyo. So, and also the language, especially the language part. So yeah, I see this is another challenge, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Let me add just one thing. In the curriculum of our social data science faculty, we made a course of LC, and we made it compulsory for every freshman.
Okay, thank you. We have a question from Lisa.
Yes. Dear esteemed professors, I have two questions here. For U Tokyo have mentioned that U Tokyo expect to send more students study abroad, and Hitotsubashi University have mentioned that face-to-face class is also important. The first question is that what are the main goals that U Tokyo and HU will be most value, or most specifically like culture, language, or professional skills, or even social network that you expect students can bring back to Japan? And the second question would be, for the student who want to study abroad, language ability will be very essential or required, like English or even Mandarin. Will the university in Japan will expect to have more opportunity to collaborate with Taiwanese language learning centers? Here is my questions. Thank you.
Okay, you want to start? Yes.
So I'm not sure whether I understood your question. So what is the values that we respect at the University of Tokyo? Is that your
what is the ability that you want the student to learn when they have international experiences?
What is the ability the students
Cultural or
should
professional?
acquire after the international experiences?
Yes.
That's many. But I think the first is a communicative ability.
Yes.
That they can communicate with people who you never met, right? It's not easy, because if you don't know the backgrounds of people who you have never met, you really can't always talk about what you already know. You have to contextualize your knowledge for the people who you see. And that's the skill we believe is very important, and we believe that only you encounter somebody who you don't know, can you learn, you can learn. So, and globalization and experiences abroad is the quickest way to learn this skill.
Great. So communication and international collaboration, and how to talk and communicate with strangers, and also different
yes,
group
and
of
by
people.
that way you can confirm what you have learned also. You have to articulate what you know to others who maybe don't know about what you have learned. So you have to really digest what you have learned at home and talk to people who you don't know. That's really a training. Even professors should do that, right?
Yes, sure. Professor Aoki, you want to share?
Yeah. As for the first question, just like Professor Hayashi said, we expect many. And even the seminars are designed to learn their own specialties. For example, I belong to the Faculty of Law, and of course the special knowledge or technical knowledge of law is very, very important. And we don't say that the making friends with others is more important than getting the knowledge of law. It is not what we expect. Instead, in addition to the specialties, we would like to give a chance, give opportunity for our student to form a close-knit relationship between students and between students and professors. Because as life is now, for example, Japanese people live more than 80 years old, and some predicts that the children who were born after 2000 will live 100 years. So the life will be multi-staged. Yeah? A three-stage life is over. Education, employment, retirement is over. So in that process, we need the intangible assets like human networks. So in addition to the special knowledge, we expect them to have a kind of intangible asset to get along with the long life they must experience. And that is my answer.
Okay, thank you. After retirement, we need to reborn and start it over again. There's a second part of the question is, if you are trying to train a student Mandarin Chinese, would you like to collaborate with the Chinese learning or Chinese teaching center in Taiwan or in different universities? If you want your student to learn Chinese, would you want to collaborate with our Chinese learning center in various universities? Why not? So, very short and sweet answer. I think our time, okay, we have only time, 30 seconds for the final question. Any? There.
Thank you. You have shared earlier that Taiwan NTU has improved or increased international students 3 times. Can you share some measures apart from, you mentioned just now English language programs, but are there other measures that you've taken to increase the international students at NTU?
You answer.
He will be a much better position to answer this question, but I'll take the first cut. I think earlier, I mean, National Taiwan University is the best university in Taiwan. We never worried about the student source. We always get the best from Taiwan. So what I'm saying is we started late to look outside. So when we realized that this is an important direction that we should go to, and then we'll mobilize a lot of different academic units to help us do that, including signing, these exchange programs with other universities, and also we participate in educational fairs in other places to let people know our university. But I think the most important thing is that once we treat our exchange students well, the word of mouth will help us get more students. But I think here.
Okay, I would like to add about 7 different answers. Actually, we worked really hard on trying to recruit international students to go to our university. On top of what Hongren just mentioned, we also increased the scholarship for international students, and that including undergraduate and graduate students. And we also formed coalition for high schools. For instance, in the South Asia area, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines. We have several high school coalition. Philippines is the science high school. So anyway, we formed those coalition and asked their students to know us better, and we try to present ourselves to them too. So not only just the scholarship, but also we have those coalitions. And of course, we try to establish a very, very strong summer programs. We have Summer Plus programs, many different areas of not only just subject matters, but also we have the cultural ones. We have the excursion. We have exploring Taiwan. We do have the research in a lab kind of summer programs, and we send our best students to go outside, so that other people know that NTU is quite good. So I think that's a two-way street. I mean, your student need to go out to that other university, other country, know our student, and through our student, those are student ambassadors. We think they are our ambassador to the world. We hope that they can learn better. So we do have, for instance, we established this NTU Beyond Border program. We do have a non-profit organizations internship program for students to go outside to serve, to learn, to communicate. We don't ask them to advertise, but they do. Anyway, so many different majors that are happening at NTU. And I think in the afternoon, Jun Hao, our associate dean for the Office of International Affairs, he is going to even give a better presentation for all of you. So please join that section. And it's time, right?
Yeah, I think it's time. Yeah. Would you please thank Professor Ding and all the panelists?
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us, and thank especially for the speakers today. Give us really, really good instructions. Thank you very much.
And now may we invite Professor Ding to present a token of appreciation to our keynote speakers. Professor Hayashi. And Professor Aoki. And now shall we take photos together with Professor Wang? Yeah. And thank you for your participation this morning. Okay, now it's time for lunch. And would you please look at your lanyard? 请大家稍微看一下您的识别证. If your lanyard is orange, my colleagues will guide you to lunch. If yours is black, just like mine, your lunch is ready for you outside. 请大家看一下您的识别证的颜色。如果识别证的颜色是橘色的，我们的工作同仁会带您到会场用餐。那如果您的识别证是黑色的，那您的午餐已经准备好了，就在会场外。And please enjoy your meal and be sure to check the poster presentation outside from 15 universities across Taiwan. The two parallel sessions will begin at 2:10 in the afternoon on the third floor. See you shortly.